Standing in the Egyptian desert for over 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza holds secrets that could change everything we know about human history. 2.5 million stone blocks, each weighing up to 15 tons, assembled with impossible precision. Built by people who supposedly only had copper tools, wooden ramps, and human muscle. But what if everything you've been told about who built this wonder is completely wrong? The official story is simple. Pharaoh Khufu ordered this tomb built around 2580 BC. 20 years of construction. Case closed. But when you look closer at the evidence, a much stranger picture emerges. Tonight, we're going to uncover the truth that's been hidden for thousands of years. Welcome to the mystery that archaeologists don't want you to solve. The problems with the official story start with basic math. To build the Great Pyramid in 20 years, workers would need to place one massive stone block every 2 minutes, non-stop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's not just difficult, it's impossible using ancient methods. But it gets stranger. In 1880, British archaeologist Flinders Petrie measured the pyramid with the most advanced tools of his time. What he found shocked him. The pyramid wasn't just big, it was mathematically perfect. The base aligns with true north to within 3/60ths of a degree. The ratio of its perimeter to height gives you pi. The structure encodes the golden ratio and the exact size of the Earth. How did Bronze Age builders achieve precision that modern engineers struggle to match? The mystery deepens when we examine the construction techniques. Many blocks inside the pyramid show tool marks that could only be made by high-speed, diamond-tipped saws. Granite surfaces have perfectly parallel grooves that require industrial machinery to create. Yet these techniques supposedly didn't exist for another 4,000 years. Christopher Dunn, a precision machinist who worked in aerospace, studied these tool marks for decades. His conclusion: whoever built the Great Pyramid had access to advanced machinery that officially didn't exist in the ancient world. But here's where it gets really strange. The pyramid has acoustic properties that no ancient civilization should have understood. The King's Chamber resonates at exactly 438 Hz, a frequency that affects human consciousness. The entire structure acts like a massive sound amplifier, using principles of acoustics we've only recently discovered. Why would a tomb need these sound properties? Unless it wasn't a tomb at all. Dr. Tom Danley, one of the world's top acoustic engineers, spent years studying the pyramid sound system. His shocking conclusion: the ancient builders designed a machine to alter human consciousness through sound frequency. But how did they know about brain frequencies and acoustic resonance thousands of years before modern science? The electrical properties are just as mysterious. The pyramid acts like a giant capacitor, storing electrical energy. During thunderstorms, it becomes a massive lightning rod. The limestone contains crystals that generate electricity under pressure. Some researchers believe it was actually a power plant, using the Earth's natural energy field. The implications are staggering. If the pyramid builders understood electricity, acoustics, and advanced mathematics, then they weren't primitive at all. They were more advanced than we've been told. Maybe more advanced than us. Ancient records are suspiciously silent about how the pyramid was built. For a civilization that documented everything, this silence is impossible. It's as if someone deliberately erased all evidence of the construction methods. The few ancient sources that do mention the pyramid tell very different stories. Herodotus, the Greek historian, wrote that the pyramid was built using machines that lifted stones level by level, technology that supposedly wouldn't exist for 2,000 more years. Arab historians describe the builders as having magical powers, moving massive stones through the air with spoken commands. These accounts have been dismissed as myths. But what if they weren't myths at all? What if they were historical records of technology so advanced that later civilizations could only remember it as magic? In 1993, engineer Rudolf Gantenbrink sent a robot into the pyramid's mysterious shafts. The robot discovered a copper door with iron handles, iron objects in a supposedly Bronze Age structure. The discovery was so controversial that Gantenbrink was banned from further exploration and the shaft was sealed. This pattern of suppression happens whenever discoveries threaten conventional theories. Evidence disappears. Access is restricted. Researchers are locked out. What is being hidden and why? The answer might be more disturbing than we imagine. What if the Great Pyramid wasn't built by ancient Egyptians at all? What if it was constructed by a lost civilization that possessed knowledge we're only now rediscovering? Geological evidence suggests the nearby Sphinx shows water erosion that could only occur during heavy rainfall, but the Sahara hasn't had significant rain for 10,000 years. This means these monuments might be twice as old as we've been told, built by an advanced civilization at the end of the last ice age. This lost civilization theory gains support when we look at other ancient sites worldwide. At Baalbek in Lebanon, some stones weigh 800 tons, among the heaviest objects ever moved by humans. In Peru, the walls of Sacsayhuaman fit together so precisely that you can't slide a knife between the stones. No mortar, no cement, yet they've survived earthquakes that topple modern buildings. These sites, separated by thousands of miles, show identical construction techniques and the same mysterious absence of documentation. It's as if the same advanced civilization left its fingerprints across the globe. Could all these impossible structures have been built by the same mysterious people? The evidence suggests our ancestors weren't primitive hunter-gatherers, but inheritors of sophisticated knowledge that's been systematically erased from history. Throughout the world, ancient cultures preserved legends of teachers who came from the sky, beings who brought knowledge of mathematics, engineering, and astronomy. The Sumerians called them the Anunnaki. The Egyptians knew them as the Neteru. The Maya spoke of Kukulkan. The Inca remembered Viracocha. These teachers are described in remarkably similar terms. Tall, advanced beings who possessed flying vehicles and incredible technology. They taught humans agriculture, mathematics, and the foundations of civilization, then disappeared. These stories have been dismissed as mythology. But what if they were historical records? What if advanced beings really did share their knowledge with early humans? The sudden appearance of sophisticated knowledge in ancient civilizations, without gradual development, suggests exactly this kind of technology transfer. The Great Pyramid might be the most tangible evidence of this lost knowledge. Its construction incorporates principles we've only recently rediscovered. If it represents collaboration between human labor and advanced guidance, every mystery about its construction begins to make sense. But this raises the most disturbing question: what happened to this advanced knowledge? Why did civilization collapse into primitive conditions? The answer lies in evidence of a global catastrophe 12,000 years ago. The end of the Ice Age brought rising sea levels, volcanic eruptions, and massive climate change. This catastrophe may have wiped out an advanced global civilization, leaving only scattered survivors and mysterious monuments. The Great Pyramid, built by survivors or with preserved knowledge from before the catastrophe, stands as a message from our forgotten past. But powerful interests have worked for centuries to suppress this evidence. Why? Because it threatens everything we believe about human development. Our entire civilization is built on the idea that we represent the peak of human achievement. If our ancestors were more advanced than us, if human development is cyclical rather than linear, then our claims to progress become meaningless. The suppression serves to protect not just archaeological theories, but modern civilization's self-image. By maintaining that the pyramid was built by primitives with simple tools, the establishment preserves the comfortable illusion that we're the most advanced humans who ever lived. But truth has a way of surfacing. New technology reveals hidden chambers that don't appear on official surveys. Thermal imaging detects energy sources that shouldn't exist. Each discovery makes it harder to maintain the conventional story. Recent investigations have uncovered a massive void above the King's Chamber, larger than the Grand Gallery itself. Egyptian authorities refuse to explore it, claiming it might damage the structure. But this rings hollow when far more invasive exploration has been allowed elsewhere. The real reason for restricting access might be that this chamber contains evidence that would fundamentally challenge everything we've been taught. Preliminary scans suggest metallic objects that don't belong in a Bronze Age tomb. Even the famous hieroglyphs linking the pyramid to Khufu are suspicious. Modern analysis shows they were painted with pigments that didn't exist in ancient Egypt, and their style belongs to a much later period. Some researchers believe these inscriptions were forged in the 1800s to support conventional dating. If that's true, then we have no real evidence connecting the Great Pyramid to Pharaoh Khufu at all. Its true builders remain unknown. As we piece together the evidence, the impossible precision, the advanced knowledge, the sophisticated technology, the global connections, and the systematic suppression, only one conclusion makes sense. The Great Pyramid was not built by primitive ancient Egyptians. It was created by an advanced civilization that understood mathematics, physics, and engineering at levels we're only now achieving. They possessed tools and techniques that we struggle to replicate. They encoded knowledge of the earth, the cosmos, and consciousness itself into stone. This civilization might have been human survivors of a global catastrophe, preserving ancient knowledge for future generations. They might have been guided by advanced teachers whose origins remain mysterious. Or they might represent human achievement at its peak, a technological golden age that was lost to time and disaster. The Great Pyramid stands as their greatest achievement and their final message. It's a time capsule built to survive any catastrophe, encoding knowledge that could help future civilizations, us, rediscover what was lost. But decoding that message requires us to abandon comfortable lies about our past. It requires us to accept that our ancestors might have been more capable than we imagine. It requires us to consider that human civilization has risen and fallen before, and that our current achievements are not unprecedented. The truth about who built the Great Pyramid challenges our most basic assumptions about human potential. It suggests that we are not the first advanced civilization on Earth, and we may not be the last. It reminds us that knowledge can be lost, that civilizations can fall, and that the past may hold keys to our future. As we stand before this ancient monument, as we contemplate its impossible precision and mysterious purpose, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to accept that our understanding of human history has been wrong? Are we prepared to acknowledge that our ancestors might have achieved things we can barely comprehend? The Great Pyramid has kept its secrets for over 4 millennia. But those secrets are finally emerging from the shadows. The question is no longer who could have built such a monument with primitive tools, because they didn't use primitive tools at all. The real question is, what else don't we know about our forgotten past? And what other monuments around the world are waiting to reveal the true scope of ancient human achievement? The builders of the Great Pyramid left us more than just a massive stone structure. They left us a puzzle that challenges everything we think we know about ourselves. Solving that puzzle might be the key to understanding not just where we came from, but where we're going. In the end, the Great Pyramid stands as proof that human potential is far greater than we've been told. It reminds us that knowledge, once gained, should never be forgotten. And it warns us that civilizations, no matter how advanced, can fall if they don't preserve what they've learned. The ancient builders understood this. That's why they built their message in stone, designed to last forever. They knew that future generations would need to remember what was possible, what was achieved, and what was lost. The Great Pyramid is that memory, carved in stone, waiting for us to finally understand its message. The question is, are we ready to listen?